We have a blockbuster trade in May. I can't remember the last time that we've seen this, but Luis Arraez, he's going to the Padres. We'll break that down in just a moment. Ohtani has been called unclutch by Angels fans all year, but yesterday he showed up versus the Atlanta Braves. Elly De La Cruz and Gunnar Henderson, they faced off, so this is one of the best shortstop versus shortstop matchups of the entire year, and the Royals, they might have the AL MVP, and his name is Salvador Perez. All of that and more in today's MLB Recap. We post these every single day, so don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button. We are basically at 495,000. Can we get there today? And if you're a brand new user on Underdog Fantasy, my code Fuzzy will get you up to a $100 deposit match, so don't miss out. The deal is done. It has finally been made official. Luis Arraez is heading to the Padres in exchange for 4 different players, but before we talk about those 4 different players, a brand new development, a wrinkle in the trade that makes it so much better for the Padres. It reminds me a lot of when Nolan Arenado was traded to the Cardinals and then $50 million was added by the Rockies. The Marlins are essentially paying off the entire 2024 salary of Luis Arraez. The Padres only have to pay Luis Arraez about $500,000 for the remainder of 2024. That is a steal for a 2-time batting champion. They actually lowered their tax threshold for the season by trading for a 2-time batting champ. AJ Preller is a madman GM. I mean, who did he give away to get Luis Arraez for $500,000? Woo Suk Go, he has been traded to the Marlins along with Dylan Head, so that is an interesting combination of names. Jacob Marcy and Nathan Mortarella, they were in a game, and as the game was being played, they got traded. These guys are both kind of power prominent infielders slash outfielders. Nathan is a first baseman slash outfielder. Jacob is definitely going to be an outfielder. He's 22 years old. Nathan is 23 years old. Dylan Head just got drafted last year, and he's struggled in his slight stint in the minors so far, but Woo Suk Go, he might be the Marlins closer of the future. That's literally it. The Marlins did not get a single top 100 prospect for Luis Arraez, who is going to be the leadoff hitter and probable DH for the Padres. Now, I don't like this trade at all for the Marlins because they traded him 5-6 months too late. They should have traded him last year before he hit 299. Like, that's still pretty good, but a 105 OPS plus is not going to get you a big haul, as evident by Woo Suk Go, Dylan Head, Jacob Marcy. I do like his ceiling, and Nathan Mortarella. To me, it's not good enough. So we just broke down the trade. Let's talk about the Marlins game from yesterday, because Luis, he was actually slated to play in this game. He gave his hugs and his final goodbyes. Now we got a ball game to talk about because the A's, they're looking for their 5th W in a row. JP Sears, he wants it bad. He struck out 2 in the first inning. A ball boy, he got some shine. There's the full effort maximum extension. I wanted to show that real quick because JP, he got Rivera to ground out to end that frame. Then he got a huge inning-ending double play to end the 3rd. And the A's, they actually are number 1 in baseball in turning double plays. Brent Rooker, he is not a one-year wonder. He's up to 6 home runs now. By the way, he has 36 home runs and a 130 OPS plus over his last 158 games. Those are insane power numbers. Este Ruiz, he stepped up with a runner at 3rd, and I think his speed really rushed Tim Anderson because they called this an error. If I'm Este, I might be appealing because, I don't know, that's close. I would call that a base hit. JP Sears went 6 1/3 shutout. He handed it to the bullpen, and yikes, there's a lot of traffic. Bases are loaded for Tim Anderson, and he's just not the same guy anymore. And it's kind of sad to watch. He's hitting 240 with a 59 OPS plus over his last 154 games. Lucas Erceg, he got the next 3 outs. The bullpen for the A's is ridiculous. No Mason Miller, it's fine. Lucas Erceg is a failed shortstop turned elite Swiss Army knife out the pen. He's got 2 saves, a 1.9 ERA, and a silly 13 strikeouts per 9. The A's do it. They won 5 games in a row. Austin Riley either went perfect, or he used power swing, one of the two, maybe both. 450 feet, sheesh. One more sheesh coming your way. Gavin Lux, he shot one the other way, and Andy Pages, he's going to try and score from second, but Kelnick, he unloaded on Pages. Pause. No, really though, it was a 96-mile-per-hour seed from Kelnick. Ohtani, he stole second in the 3rd to put himself in scoring position. So this Will Smith single turned into a tying run. Smith casually has 25 RBIs. Ohtani has 7 stolen bases and 7 home runs. Now pay attention to these next 2 swings. They basically happened on the same pitch, but they went completely different directions. Teo, he went 388 feet to right field, and Ronald, he somehow turned on it. He went 378 to left. We're going to skip to the 10th inning. Yes, it stayed 2-2 until then. Orlando Arcia barely missed a home run. He skied a long sac fly. I thought he got it. The Braves, they're up 3-2, and Ohtani, he's going to get his chance. He ties it, like I said in the intro. He's now in that 20 RBI club. Rookie Andy Pages, he's looking for his 4th hit of the night. Can he walk it off? Michael Harris can't get there, and a lot of Braves fans were like, hey, Michael, can you please dive, please? Andy Pages is a top 30 MLB The Show player. He plays on Legend, and he makes it look easy. He's also a Rookie of the Year candidate. He is I mean, he might be a better two-way player than Ohtani. By the way, massive shout out to the other rookie, Gavin Stone. He now has back-to-back starts of going 6+ innings, allowing just 1 run or fewer. He had 5 strikeouts versus the Braves, which is not easy to do. LA is now the second team after the Phillies to get to 22 Ws, but the Yankees and the Orioles are not too far behind. We'll show the Orioles versus the Reds right after this game. Volpe, he kickstarted this contest with a nice little sliding grab in right field. The Tiger starter, Reese Olson, he was very good, and Aaron Boone, he's been gushing about this kid since last year, so even he knows that he's legit. Stroman, he kept pace with the kid, but he forgot how to pitch in the 6th inning. Riley Green, he singled past the infield. He's that strong. Stroman then walked Wencel Perez, Kerry Carpenter, so the bases are stacked. He walked another. The boos were raining down as Colt Keith, he was handed a free RBI. Ian Hamilton, he was awful in his last appearance, so he's going to try and bounce back. He does it. Torkelson stinks. That's an easy strikeout. McKinstry, he rolls over, so Hamilton, he's back. We're in the 9th now. Reese Olson and the Tigers bullpen were as stingy as it gets, but the Yankee captain showed it's possible to get a hit off these guys. He singles. Then Verdugo laid down a beauty, a bunt. There you go, small ball. I love it. Stanton looked locked in. He was engaged. He jolted an opposite field double. Judge scores. The infield is now in. The winning runs at third for Anthony Rizzo. Ball game. He's been in a little mini slump lately, so it's always nice to see a guy break out and get mobbed. So the Yankees pick up their 21st win. What about the Orioles? You have Gunnar versus Ellie. This is going to be a lot of fun. Even a rain delay could not stop Ellie's speed. Cole Irvin, he has not allowed a stolen base in 3 years. He's usually quick to home, and he was quick there, but Ellie is quite literally all-time fast. He's also tall, so when you're fast and 6'5", it's a cheat code. Nothing came of his 19th stolen base, so we're going to skip to the 3rd. Gunnar Henderson, he took a walk. Green, he was then called for a balk, so we got to see Gunnar and Ellie chop it up at second base. There was a little fist bump action. Green ended up tossing 5 shutout before walking a few in the 5th, so his day is done. Still an impressive start nonetheless. Can the pen save him? Fernando Cruz got Heston Kierstad, so the threat is over, but Baltimore, they got it going again a few moments later, and I will always say this. Jorge Mateo is the fastest human I've ever seen live. When I saw him in AAA down here in Vegas, when he would go from home to third on triple, it was in a blur, but yeah, that's his 5th stolen bag. He's 5 for 5. Gunnar got him to third base on a sac fly, and we have back-to-back sac flies. Nope, Adley, he sent a double just past the diving Jake Fraley, and Ryan O'Hearn is just unfair versus righties. He's now hitting .292 with 25 doubles, 19 home runs, and a 131 OPS plus over his last 135 games. Baltimore starter Cole Irvin, he was still out there. I heard he put a gate around the coaching staff, like he did not want to come out of this. He wanted this game bad, but Ellie was the thorn in his side. He only allowed 2 base hits the entire game, both to Ellie. Irvin, he got steer on a fastball right down the middle. That's all she wrote for Cole. He's out after 6 and a third shutout. Yanir Cano, he clutched up and got the next 2 outs, so Cole's 20 and 2/3 shutout streak is still alive. Kimbrel, he's on 4 days rest, so his arm was looking lively. Book it. He challenged Ellie. He strikes out the side for career save number 425. He ties Jansen for the most in baseball right now. Tampa Bay was debuting the brand new City Connect jerseys, and they're sick, but I will say, I do wish that the front lettering was a little bit thicker. It's kind of hard to read, but they're still sick. I might buy me a Josh Lowe jersey. I don't know, but Brett Beatty, he had a pop-up with 2 on, and it never came down. I can't remember their exact ceiling rules, but that is a 3-run home run. I'm just going to show a bunch of swings all at once now. The Rays torched, and I mean torched, Jose Quintana for like 8 runs on 10 base hits, something like that. Tampa Bay, they needed a little breakout, and so did Randy. He was hitting like 130 before this swing, but the fans had his back. They gave him a standing ovation to support him. 440 feet later, Randy got his 4th home run. To the Mets' credit, though, they kept on fighting and fighting. Lindor, he's been on a heater. He drove in 2 more runs to make it 9-6, and Pete Alonso, he almost went 0 for 20, but he breaks the 0 for 19 streak to bloop in their 7th run. He asked for the ball back. I always love that. Brett Beatty, have yourself a day. He tripled his home run count in 1 game. He goes from 1 on the season to 3. He's also up to 13 RBIs, also playing much better defense at the hot corner. Same with Alec Boehm. They're both kind of breaking out. Tampa Bay ends up taking it 10-8, and a tip of the cap to the newcomer Johnny DeLuca. He came on over in the Glasnow trade. He had 3 RBIs, but there was way too much action. I couldn't really focus on one person. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. As a Cleveland fan, I'm a little bit worried about the Twins because they're riding a 10-game streak, so I am now a big-time Tanner Houck fan, despite the fact that he has shredded Cleveland this year. Down goes Kirilloff on a splitter, and then he worked around a walk to strike out Ryan Jeffers. Kepler, he grounds out, so the inning is over. Now, the Twins did clutch up in the 3rd, though, so they were just delaying my misery. That's an RBI for Edward Julian. Chris Paddock, he looked like San Diego Sheriff version of Chris Paddock. The movement on his pitches are insane, and he can throw 96 to 99. He goes 6 shutout with 6 strikeouts. Tanner Houck, he's still out there in the 7th, and he got hosed by his catcher Reese. He thought he was Troy Tulowitzki. That's an awful throw. Minnesota got another free run on a pitch clock violation, so another RBI for Edward Julian. Jeffers, he laced a 2-run double to extend their lead. And Devers, he made things interesting for the Red Sox. He ripped a 2-run double to left field, but that does it for the scoring for both teams. Duran, he struck out 2 on his way to a second save. So the Twins have now won 11 in a row, and one other team that people should be worried about, and there never should have been a doubt to begin with despite their terrible record, the Astros. Jorge Polanco knew the Astros were kind of firing on all cylinders as of late, so he decided to stay hot. Well, like, he stayed hot with the power because that's his 4th home run over his last 16 starts, but he's hitting 180 with a bunch of strikeouts. Dylan Moore, he answered after Houston tied it. Dylan Moore quietly has 2 home runs and 5 stolen bases. J-Rod got robbed by the Gold Glover. Jeremy Pena, he was all over the place defensively. Look at Pena flying to make the grab. He tumbles into the stands. Well, he didn't actually catch it. It was Lo Perfido, the left fielder, who caught it. I thought Pena had 2 Jeter plays in 1 week. It's still 3-1 Seattle in the 7th. Gabe Spear, he's been really good this year, but he lost his arm slot and mechanics. This was easily his worst appearance of the year. He loaded the bases on a Jake Myers walk, and then Gabe didn't get help from his defense. They threw it away. Pena scores. Mauricio Dubon is still at the dish, but Diaz advanced to third on that throw. That sac fly ties it up. Seattle just can't afford this, and they didn't have an answer. Altuve, he did what? He bunted for an RBI. That is gutsy, especially with 2 outs. Jose then broke for second, and he made some history. He's the 3rd Astros player ever with 300 stolen bases, and check this out. He's the 5th player ever in MLB history to have 2,000 base hits, 400 doubles, 300 stolen bases, 200 home runs, and hit over 300. The other 4, they're all in the Hall of Fame, so if you don't think that Jose Altuve is a Hall of Famer, you're just kind of stupid or a hater. One of the two, probably both. That's not going to go well with some people out there, but I'm just keeping it real. Houston was then gift-wrapped another run. Bregman, he took a walk with the bases loaded. So it's now 5-3 Houston, and oh my goodness, more horrible baseball from the Mariners. J-Rod thought that Rojas was going to tag, and he ran into the final out in the 8th. Josh Hader, his 3rd save of the year, finished off the Mariners' worst loss of the season. The Astros, they're creeping up. They're now just 5 games back of first place. Houston fans got their Royals caps on because they need the Mariners and the Rangers to lose as many games as possible. Hunter Renfroe and Brady Singer, they foiled any attempt of Texas maybe not losing this game because Hunter hit a rocket solo home run, and Brady Singer, he went 6 shutout and 4 base hits, no walks allowed. Oh, by the way, he had 8 strikeouts as well. His ERA now sits at 2.45 after his first 7 starts. I'm glad to see him back to not being awful. Texas was happy to see him leave. Leote, he barely missed a big RBI double. He ended up taking a walk, so John Schriever, he's really in some trouble. Now he's got to face Marcus Semien with the bases loaded, and that's nasty. The sidearm slider has so much downward movement, it's kind of a glitch. He gets the strikeout. Here comes the Royals now. Kyle Isbell, he singled in the go-ahead, and their sweep prince made it 3 consecutive base hits in this inning. Vinny P, he made it 4 consecutive base hits, and Salvi, he made it 5 straight base hits, but that one went a whole lot further. Salvi has 8 home runs, 30 RBIs. He has 113 RBIs and a 120 OPS plus since turning 30. He might mash his way into the Hall of Fame. The Royals are right on the heels of Cleveland for first place. I think if Cleveland loses, the Royals will be a half game back because that was their 20th win. Nolan Schanuel is trying to unlock the power stroke. He jumped on the first pitch he saw in the 3rd inning. That's his 3rd home run. Is that Willie Calhoun? He's 2 for 2 after that double, and then Logan O'Hoppe, he mashed a long double to make it 2-0, and that sucks. That really sucks for me. Mickey Moniak, he demolished a 110-mile-an-hour 3-run moonshot, and they weren't done yet. Taylor Ward, he skied a sac fly at 6-0. Now they're done. Jose Siriano, he's one of the weirdest pitchers in baseball. He throws like a million miles an hour. He also has a nasty set of off-speed stuff, but with that comes insane command issues. That's the key though. He only walked 1. He goes 6 shutout. He lowers his ERA to 3.77. Cleveland, they're now 4-6 over their last 10. Is the magical run over? Are they overrated? I'm sorry, Diamondbacks fans. This is going to be a tough watch. Nando, he barreled up a long 2-run home run. He's up to 7 home runs and 4 stolen bases. Cronenworth, he then went back-to-back with Tatis. He's got 6 home runs and a whopping 25 RBIs. Jackson Merrill, the rookie, he ripped an RBI double, and Nando drove in his 3rd RBI. He got it just past the diving Blaze Alexander. Is this ball leaving? There's no way. Manny, he tomahawked a curveball at his shoulders. That ball was deleted. One of the lowest launch angle home runs I've ever seen. Dylan Cease, he's been a stud since joining the Padres. He allowed just 1 run. He struck out 8 on 3 base hits. His ERA is 2.55, but the most impressive part, he has a 4.3 hits per 9. You heard that right. 4.3 hits per 9 innings. The Padres, they win easy 7-1. As you can see, things were looking worrisome for the Phillies early on. Nola, he walked 2 right before Thairo Estrada belted a 2-run double. See, I don't care that Nick Castellanos doesn't make errors. His range and reads off the bat are all-time bad. Trivia time. What happens when Alec Boehm has runners in scoring position? Well, that, of course, he gets a base hit. He extends his hitting streak to 16 games on an RBI single. Marsh, he said, hey, me too. Well, not 16-game hitting streaks, but an RBI single. It's now 3-2 Philly. The Phillies are going to start another rally on a Johan Rojas double. He smoked it. Wait. Whoa, Jung-Hoo Lee, he caught it. Look at how much ground he had to cover. That's an insane catch. The Giants then try to catch Trey Stealing, but he's in there for his 10th stolen base. The ball gets past catcher Tom Murphy, and you better go get it, bud. Trey's flying. His foot barely got in there, and what sucks about this, yeah, he scored, but he actually hurt his hamstring. He left the game. Hopefully he's okay. Stott, he got turned around. He forgot how fast Lee was. Everyone is safe on this play. Jorge Soler put it in play to make it a 1-run game, so we head to the 9th. Wilmer, the lefty destroyer, is facing a lefty, but Jose Alvarado, he got him to chase. His 94-mile-per-hour slider is just a cheat code. The Phillies are the first to 22 wins after winning 3 in a row. They're 15-5 over their last 20. All the Rockies had to do in this one to end their historic streak is not blow a lead. They have trailed in like 32 or 33 consecutive games. That is an MLB record to start a season. But again, all they got to do is keep the lead after McMahon hit one to the Allegheny River. Montero, he added to their lead. That's an RBI double. Make it 3-0. Montero scores on a Brendan Rodgers base knock. So Cal Quantrill, he was on a mission. He wanted to end that trailing streak. I mean, look at what he did. 9 strikeouts and nearly went 8 shutout. He is just a inning muncher. That's all he does. Eat innings, eat innings, eat innings. Now Jake Bird is going to have to try and protect Cal's lead. He got Andrew McCutchen to whiff. Bird, he's now trying to get the save. He walked Brian Reynolds, and Bird got replaced by Jalen Beeks. More like Jalen Cheeks. Sorry, that's kind of mean. O'Neal Cruz is a freak. He can do that to anyone. Another ball into the Allegheny River. RBIs 9 and 10 on O'Neal Cruz's 4th home run. Beeks then let a 97 fastball fly for the final out. Triolo, he swung through it. The streak is over. They held a lead the entire game. The Rockies, they didn't trail once in this game. It's over. I feel like the Jays have been losing a lot lately. Yeah, they're 2-7 over their last 9. Hopefully this Varsho knock breaks the streak. They're facing Patrick Corbin, so like they can't lose. Varsho scored on a sac fly from George Springer, so they're looking pretty good early, but so is Jacob Young. His double celebration is kind of funny, but maybe that's the entire Nationals double celebration. CJ drove him home, so it's 3-1 Jays. Toronto, they did a great job at limiting the damage. Yusei Kikuchi is so good at getting ground balls, so again, just 1 run scores, and Yusei, he kept them at 1 over 6. Oh no, Kikuchi's 7 strikeout gem was ruined on 1 swing. Luis Garcia Jr. blasted off for a monster 3-run pinch hit tater for the lead, and by the way, there was a little Griffey strut at the end. Did you see that? Jesse Winker started another rally, and Nick Senzel, the RBI machine, brought him home. Winker, he stepped in with the bases loaded in the 8th, and he ripped a line drive, but it's caught. All you gotta do is make the throw, IKF. He threw it into the dugout, so 2 score instead of a double play. CJ, he laid down RBI single. He is so damn fast. And Meneses, he pushed it to 9-3. That's where this one ends. Toronto, they're now 2-8 over their last 10. Washington, they're back to 500. Is it time to trade a bunch of guys on the Blue Jays? The former manager for the Brewers, he's facing off against his former team, the Brewers. It's kind of crazy that he went to a division rival in the Cubs, but this game was zeros for a while until Christopher Morel finally figured out Milwaukee starter Joe Ross. He's got like 6 home runs, but like I said though, there was 0 after 0. Hayden Wesneski, he went 6 in the 3rd shutout. That's the first time ever he's gone 6 without allowing a run. He also struck out 8. He was impressive. His lead was ruined by none other than Adbert Alzolay, because of course it was. He's been really bad. That's his 5th blown save of the year. Contreras tied it, and then Adames stole the lead, make it 3 runs off of Adbert. Jake Bowers, he came through. Cameras were on Craig Counsell all night long. I love it because let's get petty. Trevor McGill, yes, he is the brother of Tylor McGill. He got Dansby to pop up on a 99 fastball. That's his 2nd save of the year. The Brewers, they're at 20 wins. They've won 3 in a row. They now have a 2-game lead over the Cubs for 1st place in the NL Central. And last but not least, the Cardinals are facing the mighty White Sox. Wilson got to 2nd on a double in the 1st. Goldie, he then walked, and Arenado, he jolted a 2-run extra base hit. I need Goldie and Arenado to just start hammering baseballs and defy Father Time. Hey, there you go, Arenado. That's his 2nd RBI double of the day. He made it 3-0. He was the entire St. Louis offense yesterday. Sonny Gray, he wasn't going to let the White Sox ruin his ERA. He's got to be the most underrated pitcher in baseball. I know he gets a lot of, love, but the Yankees stint kind of ruined his reputation a tiny bit. People think that he's not clutch, but the man's a legit ace, and he's been like that since 2013. 7 shutout for Sonny, just 3 3 base hits, 6 strikeouts. He has a 0.89 ERA. I'm just happy that he's out of the AL Central. Mason Wynn showed off the leather and the cannon in the 8th inning. Goldie, he scooped it. Andrew Vaughn, he returned the favor. He robs Mason Wynn. He made a great play, but the Sox still lost. The NL reliever of the month, Ryan Helsley, he got his 11th save, and the Chicago White Sox, they've now been shut out 9 times. That does it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. It was a big one. I appreciate all of your support. Subscribe. We're getting so close to 500,000. And as always, enjoy the web gems. Thanks for watching.
It turned into the offseason. Oh, what a stop by Abrams on the backhand. The throw on one hop in.
This ball sent towards the hole. Great diving stop by Pena. The throw on the money.
Great play by Dunn. They get one.
Just to glove this ball, and then he turns.
Long run for Lourdes. Can he get there toward the line? Garrett.
Cortez liner leaping.